one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You want to do roll? Want to do roll? Oh, hey, we got one more.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you can start.
Okay, Arcelia Avila,
Here.
Leslie Brito, Ana Lujan, Juan Rios, Joanne Watkins,
Here. That's it?
And Mrs. Luhang, sir?
Yeah, we got her. All right, we need, as soon as I can get this to turn, we need approval of certificate of posting for May 4th.
Sarah first?
We need a, right?
Yes.
We need a first and a second, or a motion,
I'll second it.
okay? Approval of minutes for April 4th. Do we have to do that since we didn't have a quorum? We still do?
Yeah.
Might as well, let's just
Okay,
go ahead.
so approval of minutes of April 4th,
I'll
Motion?
and second, okay. Public communications at this time?
Right.
Going to be a broken record again with the soccer league, but I do come with more information with what the policies are at the city that we're not abiding by. And part of this is, I'll read you the requirements. With the City of Baldwin Park city permits, 96.15 required. No person shall occupy in a group or as part of a group more than 25 persons, any portion of a public park, or any building or structure located therein for any purpose or activity unless the group has obtained the sponsorship of the department for such activity or use as a part of the city comprehensive recreation program, or the group has obtained a park permit from the director for such occupancy or use in a matter set forth in this chapter. Now then, the procedure is for the soccer league to get a permit and from the director. They occupy any part of the park and they have more than 25 people, they have to have a permit. This is our city code. This is what we should be following, not the buddy deals. The applicants for the park permit shall be submitted to the director 15 days, but not more than 90 days in advance. Now then, the other thing is, on the list that I have here, the cost is for the field rental for the Barnes Park is $53 for residents. We're not charging a dime. The resident lighting fee is $32. They're paying $17. There's no thing on our sheet here that has an agreement with the soccer league. They have a special deal. There's no special buddy deal. We are not charging what the city has in its own codes. So we need to bring it up to code. And if the council wants to make a special buddy deal, they're going to have to bring it to council and do that. But as it goes here, we're not following our ordinances. Now then, the other thing, I was at a car show Sunday. It was a very good turnout and everything else, very well organized. The one thing I noticed was the restrooms. One thing that's really dangerous is where the blower is, where you push a button to blow your hands, which it doesn't work very well. It's an electric button next to a sink with water. I can just imagine the electrical shock if somebody would to grab that and it wasn't grounded properly. The code is, my son's an electrician, so I checked that today, should be 3 feet away from water. We need to make sure that this is up to code. The other thing is, when we have these big events, it should be up to the event planners that we probably have more porta potties put on the premises, because there was long lines for the women. I had to take my granddaughter down to my shop because it was such a long line. So we should be thinking of ways that we, take care of the people that are there and that they have the proper restroom facilities to use. So we need to look into the blowers. There was no soap to wash your hands. And, I know the restrooms are small. I know we haven't modified those at all with the thing. We've done a lot of modifications of the park, but it is important that the kids have a restroom to use, facilities to use. So I think we ought to, the next time that we get a grant and we have some extra money, I think that's something that we should look into, of maybe making them a little bit bigger and safer, and have soap and have some way of drying your hands properly without getting shocked. So all I'm going to say, go back to the soccer league. There's nothing in here in any of our codes and regulations that says that there's any special privileges given to the soccer leagues or any league, baseball or anything. So we need to enforce these laws. I know you can only make recommendations to the council, but it is up to our park directors and everything else to come in here and enforce what is here by law right now. And until changed by council, it has to be enforced.
Mr. Tuttle, your time is up.
That's all I had to say.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Manny, I have a question on that. When he's talking about director, is that you?
Yes.
So that they would have to get that all approved through you?
Yeah, well, if that's what the code reads, I haven't memorized it, so I'd have to report back next month.
And I have at least, I know that you're saying that the hand dryer wasn't safe. I just was at Benelli Park camping with the Girl Scouts. They have no dryer, they have nothing. They didn't even have soap. Luckily, we had a sink. So we're very fortunate that at least we have the dryer. Maybe it needs to be modified or corrected, or maybe it has a special switch that it won't
Sure.
shock,
I would assume so, but I think it's probably in everyone's best interest that we take a look at it,
I
and we
agree.
will report back.
Thank you. I think that would, but at least there's a blower. We were like,
Yeah, I know. It's terrible.
The restrooms right here at Morgan Park, what he's talking about, they've been outdated probably 15 years ago when they first made them.
Yeah.
Because I talking to Maria, she took the blowers I suggested, she put them at the skate park, and they are working nice. They are working, they're
We're looking at updating the Morgan Park outdoor restrooms by this summer. So the vendor or the concept that you provided us, Mr. Rios, in regards to painting the floors and sealing it, our big issue is the concrete has a odor. And so it's very challenging, but Mr. Rios had suggested a flooring, so we're looking into it, and a very good possibility we should have it completed before the first summer concert, and it should
wonderful.
capture and seal the urine smell on the floor, and also prevent any additional fluid from dropping on the floor and seeping into the porous concrete. So we think we should be able to be on top of that element pretty soon. But I'll report back next month in regards to both of Mr. Tuttle's concerns in regards to the municipal code as well as the restrooms and the safety.
on the restrooms. Mr. Tuttle gave me a good suggestion. Why don't we put tile in the restrooms,
We'll definitely take a look at that. The tiles tend to break sometimes.
Yeah.
They sometimes become a little bit slippery.
oh,
We
yeah.
have the grout that depending on if we want to go black, the kids are barefoot, so the tile sometimes has sharp edges. So
it's something to look at,
It's something to look at. Splash pad, kids are roaming around with no shoes. because, they're running in and around the splash pad. But we'll definitely take a look at that. Rest assured, we are not sitting or we're not pleased with status quo. We are always looking at how to improve, refine, and define whatever we have our hands on.
Well, what if we just painted a target in the toilet? Right?
Yes.
It's a
yes.
joke. But I know the tile because I slipped on tile and now I have a bad hamstring. So tile is not probably the safest thing with water. Okay, shall we move? Nobody else? Okay, so reports of the officers, commissioners, and committees.
Okay. In regards to facilities update, Maria wasn't able to make it, but hopefully she'll be at one of the next few commission meetings. But she did provide me a list. Just as an FYI, the department has assumed the responsibilities. Right now, it's on an interim basis in regards to all the facilities. So the department is in charge of janitorial, plumbing, electrical, and all the trade type of elements. Prior to our 14 or 15 month absence, the department did oversee this element for approximately 7 to 8 years. So we are relatively comfortable monitoring this. And I just want to share with you some of the completed projects. We installed commercial grade hand dryers at the skate park. So we won't be dealing with, I believe that was maybe a suggestion of Mr. Rios. So we won't have to deal with paper towels anymore because that causes a mess. Council chambers, you may not realize it, but we painted. So we added a little bit of color, and we also removed all of those chairs and went up to the ceiling and patched it up between a council meeting from one day to, it took us about a week. But there's a lot of things that the department is involved with that
very
you
nice.
may or may not realize. So we went ahead and painted, and we gave it a little bit of a facelift, as well as the jail office in the basement in the police department. We painted, stripped the floors, and we waxed it, and we fine-tuned it. The city or the jail or the police department, they get inspected, I believe annually or biannually, by an independent auditor who oversees the jail system. So our jails need to be to the highest caliber in terms of cleaning, all the particulars. So we are in charge of that as well. And the police department, we revarnished the entrance to the police department, the bench right outside the main lobby door, as well as we replaced a floater at Morgan Park splash pad. And there's a number of other pending projects that we are working on. A dehumidifier at the aquatic center. If you were roaming around the park on Thursday, I believe, of last week, they had a huge crane. And they took out the old dehumidifier and they put in the new dehumidifier, and that dehumidifier was installed in 1988. So this previous one lasted from 1988 to 2015. So it gave us more than the 20 years that it was supposed to give us.
Was
So
that
there's-
the original one?
Yes.
And I know how hard it was for you guys to find a human that would work there.
Yes, yes.
It was
It
really
actually is
it was really hard.
custom made. When
Yeah.
we put the order in, I thought we would get it in a little bit. No, they have to make it. So it's not something that they have laying around in the warehouse, which I was a little disappointed. But there's lots of other projects as well that we are working on. So if anyone is roaming around any public facility, please let us know. Even if we're not responsible for it, we will go ahead and forward the message to the appropriate staff member. Mike used to work in public works, so he knows all the trip and hazard elements of raised curbs and sidewalks and everything else. So we're well versed in most everything. So that's that in regards to facilities update. Unless you have any questions or comments.
On that
No.
facilities entering into the parking lot, going into the senior citizens, the entrance where they used to go with handicapped people,
Yes.
they need to be fixed.
Is that the one where they added blacktop to the concrete?
That's
Or
not
to the
right.
tile,
Yeah,
to the pavers? Okay.
they need to fix it right. They just don't, monkey around with.
Yeah, I'll take a picture of it and forward it to Public Works. We brought it to their attention. It was a root under a tree growing, and it moved the paver. So the paver was no longer flushed with the sidewalk. So
Yes.
what Public Works did is they got the black, what is it called, Mike?
They call it RAM. They also, I guess one of the alternatives is to go ahead and grind it. Grind it down to,
They need to
specs.
grind the root, yeah.
All they need to do is take that one that's right there, square it off, pick it up, go under it, and refill it. Put it even.
okay.
No,
And you have to break it all down.
Oh, yeah.
Some of the options of trying to lift it, but in lifting it, it'll break. So you almost have to break it all down, excavate the roots, make sure that it doesn't affect the tree, that it doesn't fall at the next big winds.
Or dies.
Excavate the roots, and then you just put a whole new concrete.
Yeah.
That would probably be the best solution rather than just a quick fix, but it's time and effort and money. Go ahead and do that.
So we'll go ahead and forward your concern to Public Works, and hopefully they address it. They addressed it temporarily by adding the black gravel
It's a ramp.
ramp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did that
that's
next
a
door.
quick fix.
Only they went and dug it up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Took care of it.
Another thing is on the trash cans at Barnes Park, they still haven't put the new ones in. You
What?
probably,
Barnes Park, what? Trash
the
can?
trash cans, you probably got around at least 20 of them. They don't have the lids on them.
Dome
Oh,
lids.
the lids.
The dome lids.
Okay. We will look at that as well.
It's been around 3 months already since we brought it up,
Okay.
It probably is a cost factor. Those lids are not cheap.
They're $175.
Yeah, Public Works takes care of that, so we will definitely forward that item to Public Works.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pricey.
I know the public works director. I know the public works director on
Yeah.
a first name basis.
Yes, I do.
And Manny was really happy there. This isn't mine.
Okay, well, thank
So
you.
did you guys put it through your minds about getting some college students to fix the restrooms, take care of the restrooms?
Well, we actually do have staff from time to time, but we are moving forward to award or recommending to the council to award a contract for janitorial. We feel from our experience, that's the best way to go because we don't have the supervision to supervise the staff 24 hours a day. And it seems like the janitorial companies, they have the staff in-house.
Well, if you get some college students that are willing to work for that, because a lot of college students, they want to work during the summer or during the year.
And we hire them. We have day camp. We usually are cruising around 80 part-time employees for summer. We go as much as 150. So we have a lot of staff members working. So it's just not cleaning restrooms. And then there's opportunities in Public Works as
The reason I suggested it is that my son went to Azusa Pacific and he had a part-time job at a school and he used to do stuff like that. And those are college kids that, want to work to pay for the books or whatever.
we flew, or Public Works flew the position for part-time staff to assist, and to date, they have flown it for 6 months probably. They have not been able to fill all the positions because you have to fill background. You have to.
Oh, yeah.
You have to complete the background investigation of not only the state of California but the federal.
Yeah.
Then it's hard to find reliable people in a college atmosphere. It's a little different because you have students that are motivated because it's through work studies or it's money that they're going to be living out
Using.
on their own. Yes. So yeah, college students are very motivated, but it's a little bit different when they work for a city. So from our experience, this is cost-effective way to go.
Yeah, because the Sousa Pacific, my son he was involved with them for 3 years, and he used to work at Laverne. Okay, and even after he left and graduated, there's other kids that wanted the job too. You know, that's why I suggested, you know, get some college kids, and it won't cost the city so much money. Yeah.
Well, we did a cost analysis, and even having part-time staff, supervisorial staff to supervise them, it's about a cost neutral with the versus the janitorial company versus the city. And Shannon experienced it in the city of West Covina as well. They had a janitorial company, then they brought it in-house with part-time staff, and he said it was cost neutral as well.
I would have to question that one.
You-
Yeah, I would, you know, because, you know, I know the figures on your janitorial services, you know.
You also, excuse me, you also gotta remember that Azusa Pacific students are probably earmarked the local Azusa, Laverne, and Dimas, and they probably can't come out here to Baldwin Park. That would be the main question, if we can use those.
Well, a lot of the kids that go to Sousa Pacific, they used to come to Baldwin Park to coach.
I understand that, but can they come and work for us?
Oh, yeah, you
That's
put
a
a,
question that you need, I don't know, you'd have to check on that.
yeah,
Because they earmark it because of federal, those monies that come from Azusa Pacific are grant monies earmarked for local cities, local,
Enough for
It's
us.
work studies money
I
usually.
mean, I did college work studies and I could only work in Baldwin Park. So maybe a good, maybe we can, look into, Mount Sac. Mount Sac, Citrus,
Yeah. What's the one off the Rio Hondo?
Real.
Rio Hondo,
Cal Poly.
Cal Poly Pomona.
Might be a good one.
You're on the right track, Mr. Rick. Getting the local ACs.
Yeah.
it'll help us out and it'll help the kids out, you know. You know, and they'll always remember that. It's like my son, he says now that he works over there, you know, with his nose up in the air, you know, he says, I'll always remember that. You know. So those are the things that I suggest because I've seen it. And then we used to get coaches from Azusa Pacific too over here. With the Little
And
Lakes.
that's coaching and,
And it's different.
Well, no, I understand what you're saying, but I'm just telling you what they go out of their way to help.
Yeah, our jobs are open to everyone and anyone.
No, yeah.
Yeah, so everyone and anyone.
You know, if you guys could check with them and see, you know.
Our HR departments, they work with the job centers for all the local community colleges,
Okay.
as well as the Cal States and private. We have kids from the summer months, especially. We have kids from all over
Yeah.
the nation attending college.
Yeah.
So next, we will move on with Arbor Day. Mike and Vanessa were in charge of Arbor Day, and Mike will give a brief update in regards to that successful event.
thank you, Manny. I think you were handed a report, our monthly report for this month. And in that report, it has the Arbor Day and Spring Day Camp and whatnot. The Arbor Day was very successful in that we had, there it is.
I'm like,
Yeah, yeah. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, man?
I'm
Remember
like
you took them
behind.
back?
Knowing that we had interviews today for our summer day camp, so this is why I came in a few minutes late. So we're trying to wrap the last interview at 4:30. So I had asked staff to go ahead and disseminate the information. In that packet, you have some of the program areas that I deal with, but the Arbor Day in particular, we had roughly about 300 people come and go. We probably had more than that throughout the whole day because you also had the mulch giveaway. So that's a participating client. So we probably had about 100 people that went ahead and went after some mulch. 40-yard trash bin with mulch, and they came and took advantage of it and took it home, and hopefully they'll go ahead and use it as drought-tolerant substance. But anyways, We had the different water companies here that shared some information in terms of water conservancy. That's going to be critical for landscape, for also fault-tolerant plants. I think we'll probably have to go fault-tolerant. Again, that's a public works thing. But also, as a general population, they need to start considering water conservancy. And that day, had San Gabriel Valley Water Municipal District, Valley County Water, the Upper San Gabriel Valley Water Company was here. Hopefully, everybody takes advantage of that information, takes it home, and able to do their share in conservancy, water conservancy, because we're going to be hurting in a few. Maybe not this year, but definitely. Being a golfer, I don't know what the golf courses are going to do.
Oh, that's right.
We're going to be playing in dry grass, and so it's huge. Water conservancy is going to be big in the next 36 months. We had our art contest. You have a list of all the winners that participated. We had 4 and 3 different age divisions, or grade divisions, I should say. They were honored that day, and on May the 20th, the next council meeting, on May 20th council meeting, those kids will be honored with a certificate from the council. That week is also Public Works Week. Being a Public Works week, we wanted to go ahead and honor the kids during that same week. Plus, it gives the kids time to go ahead and get their families to be here for a photo op with the council. We also did a four tree dedication. We dedicated 4 California sycamores to distinguished community members that put in a lot of time and effort throughout their years. That was Mr. Jack White, Mr. Robert Bembo, Mrs. Ana Montenegro, and Mr. Fidel Vargas. All 4 were honored with a tree that will be planted. Oh, actually, it was planted on that day at Morgan Park. So we're going to have like a Walk of Fame tree celebration or commemoration. So,
And if I could interject, 2 of those individuals, 2 of the 4 have passed away. Mr. Fidel Vargas Sr., as well as Mrs. Ana
And
Montenegro.
Anna.
Fidel Vargas Jr. or the?
Senior.
Senior.
with that program, probably going to want to do it on a continuous basis. Perhaps, I know this one was 4 trees, but on an annual basis to do 2. I guess we can put petitions for the next 2. There was a lot of names thrown out there, or submitted, I should say. Also had a tough time trying to select 4, but on a year-to-year basis, we're probably going to do the 2. Once we start catching up with that, we'll do something like what we do with Veterans Day. We veterans. In most cases, it's 2 veterans, but in this case, it may go to 3. But we want to go ahead and honor on an annual basis 2 residents that have done their share of community service, volunteerism, and also gave back to the community. So, it went well, very well. Rain was very nice to us. After the whole thing was over, the rain came down pouring, watering those trees that we asked. So, did well. A granite plate will be mounted next to the tree. Public Works is going to help us with that. That will be in the
Very nice.
if you will. If you look at the winners, have a breakdown of the participation from the and the various different that were involved, along with the winners. Okay.
Thank you, Mike. It was a very nice event.
Yeah.
Weather cooperated. Very, very nice. The very emotional part of the event was the tree dedication. Very there, you saw all the family members of the honorees show up, and it was just very, very touching, especially for the honorees that are no longer with us. Moving on to the next item on the agenda is Kaiser Permanente collaboration, and Monica will give an update in regards to this very creative and energetic program.
I wanted to talk a little bit about the Kaiser program. It's called Play is Fun. And what this program was a collaboration between the city and the Baldwin Park Kaiser Permanente. We were approached by Kaiser staff, I want to say I think 14, and they were wanting to start a new program that would educate parents but also have the kids become more active. And this was a result of the chief of pediatrics started seeing an increase on the number of children that were overweight and they were not engaged in any physical activity. And he's been at the Kaiser Hospital for over 20 years, and he said in the beginning when he first started that it was very rare to see children that were overweight. And the trend that he is now seeing now is a lot of children are actually pre-diabetic, and that they're developing type 2 diabetes at a very young age, which is typically an adult onset illness. And so he, was talking to the parents and the kids, and they're saying, oh, well, no, they don't do any activities or junk food. And so he was very concerned about this. And so because we have a very good relationship with Kaiser EOP program, worked with them on several different other projects. They've had events here at the Family Service Center. They have an after-school program. They've also partnered with us during the summer, so we have a very good working relationship with the EOP. So they were talking to their EOP department and said, why don't we approach the city? They're very open. So we started meeting with the staff from Kaiser, and we developed this new program. And so it's been working for the last few months, and the first kickoff meeting was on April 16th. And what it is, it's a 6-week program. It's completely free. It's open to Baldwin Park residents as well as some of the other local areas that they serve. They were primarily targeting several schools in the Baldwin Park area as well as promoting it to their patients. They were working with their pediatric doctors as they were encountering different patients, letting them know about this free program here at the community center. And so we have on the first day of class that we had about 31 children that were there with about 25 families. And so these were families that don't have to be Kaiser Permanente members, thank you. They could just be regular members of the community. And so what Kaiser's committed to doing is having a different topic every week for the parents. They're also bringing a medical doctor to the meetings so that there could be questions that need to be elaborated more from the presentation that they're giving, an opportunity for parents to maybe have a short Q&A with them. And then while the parents are in the training, we as the city are providing free activities for the kids while their parents are in the classroom, I guess. And you can see on the schedule, the italicized activities is what for the kids, and then the non-italicized is what the Kaiser is presenting. So far for the last 3 weeks, the first week the kids were doing a walking activity. We're at the fitness zone and they played soccer. And then on the second week they played dodgeball and basketball inside the gym. Last week they played volleyball and flag football. And then this week they're going to once again play basketball and kickball and soccer. Because the groups are fairly large, we have assigned 3 staff to work with the kids with 10 to 12 kids per group. And also Kaiser's also providing their own volunteers to support our staff with any additional supervision. This is definitely one of these projects that is very collaborative because we are providing our staff, we're providing our facilities, but Kaiser is also providing the education work, and they actually did a lot of the marketing. We marketed as well but they were going to the schools, dropping off flyers. So this is one project that we're really looking forward to, that we hope that will return, because this is actually it's a pilot. It's first 6 weeks. And Kaiser has said that they are looking to, hopefully that it's a ongoing 6-week program. So we can start again in the summer, and then hopefully in the fall we could start another group again. So we're really excited about working with Kaiser on this, and this is one new additional opportunity to provide our residents with education on how to lead a healthier lifestyle and make the change of not just themselves, but with their whole family.
We have actually our chairperson.
Yes, Leslie has been, Chairperson Brito has actually been volunteering with Kaiser. She's helped out with the different, with the kids. What Kaiser is wanting to make sure that the whole family is involved is the older kids will go out and do the activities that we're talking about. But there's some families that have really young children, and it's hard for young children to sit for an hour and a half and listen. And so what the Kaiser volunteer staff is that they'll take the younger ones, take them to the playground, and the kids will play, and then they'll bring them back when it's close to the end of the session. So this is definitely a family event, and that way parents don't have to worry about finding childcare. They bring the whole family, and they're going to all be active.
That's awesome.
Went ahead and took the kids, introduced boxing, went ahead and provided them with some hand wraps, up t-shirt. Also, we extended for 3 months of membership. Good idea, because so that's going to entice them to come back once, and after the 2 months, May and June, if they want to come back, then they would go ahead and invest boxing program. They're really excited with that because it gives them not only the 2.5 hours or whatever it is, the 2 hours to go ahead, but they'll be able to come back.
And then this coming weekend, once again, Mike's group is going to be hosting the kids.
We weren't able to cram all the sessions in during the week just because of the program, but what Kaiser's doing is offering the parents 2 supplemental activities, actually 3, with the boxing program, and then also one of our contract Zumba instructors is going to be leading a session on Saturday morning. So just to give the parents and the kids a taste of what Zumba class is like, if they've never done it before, they can participate. And with the goal that the parents will be involved, and maybe some of the older kids will also want to do Zumba as well. So we're really fortunate to have a very supportive contract staff as well as our own in-house staff.
Questions?
Very good. It's a very unique program. I remember months ago when we were meeting with a doctor in my office when they came up with the concept. So to see it in live, it's fantastic, and staff is doing a wonderful job. But at this point, I'd like to introduce April Rojo, and she'll go ahead and give an update in regards to Ballin Park Now, as well as the insert of the recreation guide.
Good evening.
In February, we went out to, we received bids for costs for the Baldwin Park Now, and at the April 15th council had approved going back to a newspaper layout, tabloid layout. So this next issue in June will look like this, and it'll still be mailed to all the houses. It's more cost effective. We're saving $13,000, a little over $13,000
Wonderful.
a year, and
Increase.
sorry, oh yes, we're going to increase by 2 more issues. So we'll have 6 issues a year instead of the 4 that we were doing. And this next issue of the Baldwin Park Now will have the recreation guide insert in the middle. So when they open it, it'll be stitched here.
Are you coming together?
It'll get mailed together. And it will be in color. It will just on this
Like newspaper.
environmentally friendly newspaper instead of the-
Recyclable.
Yes, it's actually a soy-based ink. So it's also
So the ink
not
is
only the
environmentally
paper, but
friendly.
the ink is as well. And we're almost done. Our goal is to have it out by Saturday, May 3rd. Because the first Saturday in June is actually a week into. I want to shoot for the week before. That way, the kids.
June 3rd, Saturday, June 3rd.
June.
I was gonna say, because May's already
That was
gone.
Sunday.
I was
Our
like-
goal is May 30th. May 30th. Saturday,
Okay.
May 30th. June 6th is the following Saturday, but then they'll miss this. We would have this event and our summer concerts will be there. We'll try to put a lot of the market event information and all the classes for the recreation department. Have any questions?
Is they're gonna come out with a date of the concert that we're gonna have?
Yes.
And when we're gonna have the street fair and the whole
Yes.
thing,
The back page will probably tend to highlight.
all that?
We used to do that for this one, so the back page it would have concerts and the street. We'll have it on this newspaper format now. We'll just have,
So it's gonna be cheaper now?
yes. Cost saving of
That's good.
And just as a FYI, the school, we're hoping the school district is going to be purchasing a few pages of the ball and park now, how it was back in the day. So that will help offset our costs as well. So I have a feeling going to print 6 times a year versus the 4 times with additional advertisement funds and the change of paper, we should be breaking out about even. It should be about neutral.
Yeah.
So that's something to be said. We're paying approximately $6,000 for 4 issues, and so now it's going to be a little bit of a neutral or cost savings.
I have a question. How much are we charging for advertising on it?
advertising for a full page, which we do it by dimensions now because of the change of layout. So a full page used to be, it's almost close to 8.5 by 11. It's $500 if you're going to, per issue, if you're going to commit for a full year. $550, want to do a one-time ad. And from there, we have prices for quarter page. I only know the
I say quarter page, full page,
and then half page.
half page.
It goes out to every resident as well as business owner in the city, which is approximately high 17,000, April? 22 total, but I think it gets mailed out about 17,800. Then we have the extras. We take the city hall, the library, and a few other points of interest.
You said the full page is 500
$550 for one time.
each time. It's
500.
Yes. So if you
What
buy
is it?
multiple-
What is it for the whole year?
the 6 issues, it's 500 per issue.
No, was just wondering, you know.
And you may need to go get the little one? Okay. So April's going to excuse herself to pick up her little princess.
And you gotta go. All right.
And we're going to move on to the Recreation and Community Services Commission time. I've been approached by Mr. Rios that maybe we should consider possibly moving the time of our commission meetings. We currently meet on the first Monday of the month, and if Monday's a holiday, then we meet on the following Tuesday, the day after, at 5 o'clock. And I think it's a very good idea. I just would like to share with the commission that the traditional work schedule for the administrative staff concludes at 6 p.m. So if you choose to modify the time, that's fine, but you'll probably only see me versus
It's okay.
the other ones.
Be in charge of giving the updates for every
I
department.
could go ahead and get the updates from all the administrative staff.
It's very hard for the girls that are working,
At work, yeah.
you know, at 5 o'clock. A lot of people get off at 5 o'clock.
It is, and it's
And
once a
I
month.
think
So,
it would be a good idea to change it at 6 o'clock, you know.
so it's up to the commission. Someone would like to make a motion. if you would like to wait for Mrs. Brito, that's an option as well, but she didn't reach out to me. The only one I received a call today was from Mrs. Lujan, that she had to leave early. But other than that,
I would,
Well, then we need a motion if we want to change the time from 5 to 6.
I motion.
And we need a second?
How do you feel about it?
I'm fine with
You're
it.
fine with it? Okay.
Doesn't bother me.
Okay.
And we have a
So let's change it to 6
6
o'clock.
o'clock.
first, second, and then we will go ahead and modify it to 6 o'clock.
Because that was our concern when we were talking about it last month, when it was just myself. My concern was, what about, the employees? Because I know you guys get off at, I thought 6.
Yes.
And they said, well, there would be adjustments, so it would work if we need to.
Yeah.
Now, is that going to change make it harder
It's
for
fine.
you?
It's fine.
Okay.
No worries.
He's here till 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock on
I'm
Wednesdays
here
anyway.
usually.
He lives here, right?
Yeah.
And then never here on Friday, so,
Yeah, what the heck, huh?
What the hell?
So at this time, we have the commissioner request or communication.
Under the parks, I've been walking around the parks, and a lot of people have stopped me because they know I'm a commissioner, and they wanted me to bring up that they prefer not to have fireworks sold in Baldwin Park no more, because it's very unhealthy
It is.
for kids that have asthma and stuff like that.
Now, fireworks in terms of local residential fireworks or a fireworks show?
Fireworks, the
Everything.
show,
Everything, nothing.
everything.
Okay.
So nothing in the city at all. We would not be allowed.
Because they say, most of the times, the people that have talked to me, they say, after the fireworks and everything, they have to run to Kaiser or to the hospitals for their kids to get breathing treatments.
Or you have to,
I will share that with Shannon, but I also encourage you to let the council know
Oh,
that
well, I'll let them know.
now, because just as a little bit, looking at the situation a little bit larger, a lot of the organizations that have
Oh, yeah.
booths or fireworks stands, they use that as operating funds throughout the year.
No, I understand, yeah.
The leagues and
Yeah.
the band.
The schools like softball, wrestling, swim,
and
football, everybody
Everyone.
makes their money
Money
from
off
that
of
to
it.
provide
Yeah, there's a
for
lot
us.
of money to be made in
Oh, yeah.
fireworks. They make anywhere from 6,000 to 18.
And those would
us.
be fees that would be rolled over to the parents if the programs can't get it from fundraising like that.
Or other fundraising opportunities, selling Christmas wrapping, paper, bags,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
chocolates, and
Yeah,
everything.
from my
else.
understanding, that's the most profitable.
oh, yeah.
Fireworks? Oh, yes.
Oh, lots of money made on fireworks. You have any?
Okay.
No, I have none.
And I have none. So hearing, do we have a motion for adjournment?
Second?
And we're adjourned.
Thank you.
Oh, don't forget, guys, the 15th.
Yes.
Yeah,
Very important.
yeah, I'll call them
Maria,
up
are we
tomorrow.
I think we have to call and let her know we're coming. Because if we don't come, we're in big trouble. Because then, well, I think if you don't come, then you have to do it on your own.
Yeah, 2 hour.
Yeah, and here it's,
This is yours, Sheila?
you have the city council, you have everybody here.
First meeting along
It's
the
the,
curb and a tree.
it teaches us how we can talk, or what we can say and can't say when we're out of here. When we're not at, like a big one is, if we were talking about